What's up, guys? Let's talk some college hoops for your Wednesday night. This is going to be a good one. We've got some ranked teams with a little bit of a rivalry going on. Number 5, Uconn is taking on number 21, Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. That's important to note. Two little real quick things. This is Uconn's first true road game, meaning that they weren't in a tournament or traveling for, a festival or whatever it is. And Kansas, this is their first home game since they played Princeton back on November the 15th. Okay, so kind of a big situation for them both in a way. The line on this is Uconn -2. The total's at a 143. Now it opened at a Uconn -1.5. We know that money's coming in on them because it ticked up to a 2. The total was at a 143.5. It came down to a 143. So people are playing the under on that one, right? So my first play, I've got 2 to 3 plays for you because I keep going back and forth on my full game side. But I do know, okay, so here's what happened, right? Uconn was cruising through in 2023, doing their Uconn thing. We're Uconn. We won 13 games in a row, y'all. We won 24 consecutive games in a row, non-conference by double digits, y'all, until we ran into Kansas. That was 2023, and Kansas, that was a Division I record, 24 non-conference games in a row by double digits they won. Kansas ruined that and their 13-game win streak in 2023. Now, before we want to call that a rival, we got to check a few things, right? Number one, were the coaches the same guys? Yes. It was Dan Hurley and it was Bill Self, same dudes, right? Were the players the same guys? That makes a difference because it was their streak, right? A lot of times we talk about, well, they're still mad because, Auburn's mad at Alabama because they beat them 6 out of 8, whatever those stats are. It matters if the same guys are on the team because without those guys, you don't have the grudge. It's just like a team spirit, team pride kind of a grudge, but they didn't affect all of your hard work and all of your commitment and make you look like that, right? Uconn was 4 in the nation at that time also. So my first play, I did look at that. And there were 4 guys on the 2023 team that still play for Uconn, and they're seniors now. And, wouldn't it be nice to put that cherry on your little cupcake? All right. So first half Uconn -1 or money. -1 is a -110 on the money line's a -120, I believe. However you want to take it. I think Uconn is going to come out hot in the first. And I have the stats to support it. So not only is it their first true road game showing what's up, they're playing in a really hard place where they know they've got to come out hot. Allen Fieldhouse, which is the home stadium for Kansas, and we're going to talk about that in a minute because it plays a big role in basketball, in the history of basketball for that matter. You got to come out hot, right? It's a really hard place to play. So stats in their last 5 games. And remember, they've had like some decent competition in their last 5 games. Uconn just played Illinois, number 13. They beat them. Played Bryant in Hartford. Played Arizona, number 4 in the nation. Played BYU, number 7 at that time. Whereas the other team, Kansas, you guys know I'm not a big Kansas fan, but I'm about to jab on them like I am. They just got out. They were in the Players Era Festival here in Las Vegas. So they played Tennessee, Syracuse, and Notre Dame. And even before that festival, they played Duke. They lost 78-66 to Duke. Duke, baby. So their last home game was in November the 15th against Princeton. I think I said that before. So it's been a while since they've gotten back to their own home spot. Stats that are going on with these for the first half, I have Uconn averaging 51, but then if I do my little skew, they're averaging about 41 and giving up 29 to 30. I have Kansas scoring 35 and giving up 34. So with that, knowing that they have to get out there and do their thing, and with them just being a better first half team, they score 5 to 6 more points, and they give up 4 less points. I like Uconn first half. So that's the first play. Okay. Now let's talk about Kansas. Okay. And we're not just going to talk about right now, Kansas. We're going to talk about the history of basketball. Ready? All right. Once upon a time, in a land with no basketball, there was a man named Dr. James Naismith who invented it. And where he did all that jazz at, he was in Kansas, and he was actually the first coach of Kansas basketball. He started that business. Let me open my storybook for you. So this began in Kansas basketball began in 1898 when Naismith became its first head coach. He's the inventor of basketball. If you guys don't know who James Naismith is, he invented basketball with the peach basket. I think he's Canadian too. Kansas holds the record for most regular season titles. James Naismith, funny thing about him, there have only been, in the 120-year history of Kansas basketball, there have only been 8 head coaches, right? James Naismith was the very first one, and he's also the only one that has a losing record. All 8 of these coaches have been to the national NCAA tournament, to the big dance, since the big dance became a thing. So after Naismith was a guy named Phog Allen. And this is where we get the Allen Fieldhouse from, because he was building it during his time as a coach. And I believe Phog is the one who won the 1952 NCAA championship with Kansas. They also won in 88, 08, and 22. Okay. So Allen Fieldhouse is one of the hardest places to play in college basketball. It was designed that way as well. There's a lot of factors why. For one of the main ones is just that the way it's super cramped and crowded seating, and the players on the court almost feel like the fans are sitting on top of them, right? So it's really claustrophobic, and psychologically it breaks a lot of players down, but because partially it's so small that it's incredibly loud in there. And they've actually broken records or set records on their decibel system for how freaking loud it is. So think like Seattle Seahawks, right? Super hard to play them at home because it's so freaking loud. Okay, wait, let me just find some more notes here because I know I just like cruised through a lot of it. Other notable Kansas head coaches, Larry Brown, we all know him, Roy Williams, who's now the coach of the UNC Tar Heels, and then currently Bill Self, who I've talked many times about how I don't like him. I don't like him. Another little fun fact is that James Naismith, while he was the head coach of Kansas in the 1800s, early 1900s, he also served as the ref in those games too. So yeah, issues with Allen Fieldhouse. Intimidation factor. You're playing at Allen Fieldhouse. This is Kansas, where it all began, right? There's tons of famous people and ex-superstars that are around you. Psychologically, it's taxing because the fans are chanting, Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. They're chanting at you, screaming. It's incredibly loud. Feels like it's cramped. It feels like the fans are on top of you. It's supposed to feel like playing in an old barn, which I kind of dig that. And deafening noise. Yeah, set records for decibel levels is what I wrote down. So all of that considered, Kansas is a super hard place to play. As a matter of fact, they have only lost 117 out of 765 of their home games. So that's kind of a big deal there. So for the full game, I know there's like just so much to talk about. You guys know I love history and I love basketball. And so that's what's up. Here's another weird thing about Kansas. They got awarded retrospectively the NCAA championship title in 1922 and 1923. I don't think we need posthumous freaking trophies out there, but apparently they do. Okay, so look, the way the numbers are going, the way this matchup feels like it's going, the way everything's happening, the way the numbers are moving, I'm going to take this full game under a 143 is what I'm going to do. I honestly, and I can even, there's that damn timer thing again. In Uconn's last game, hold on, let me do this without my stinking timer thing. This ticks me off so much. Y'all, you don't even know, y'all. Okay. That's not it. But that's where you find all of our premium plays over at picksandparlays.net. Don't forget to check out picksandparlays.net. And don't forget to give me a like. Drop in the comments who you're liking. This is a hard side to choose. My heart says Uconn. My heart says Uconn full game all day on this one. It really does. However, and the line says Uconn all day on this. However, I think this is going to be a back and forth game. And you guys know that I like getting on some plus money here and jumping and trying to get on the plus money over there. So I kind of just say, as far as a full game goes, that you take Kansas and look to hedge it in play. I also was looking at double results. I'm kind of getting into double result. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Oh, that's ticking me off. Okay, so we're going Kansas full game. I'll explain double results to y'all on a different show if you're interested. If somebody puts in my comment box, hey, what's a double result? Then I'll explain it to you, and then you can know a whole new way to make money, or try to make money for that matter. It doesn't always work, but I've been pretty successful with it. I do like it under 143. In Uconn's last one, it was a 135, 121, 138. It got a little out of control with BYU. That was an 86-84 game. And then we had out of Kansas, the last one was a 157. Before that, 131, 132, 144, which was Duke and just snuck over the top. And a 133 at home against Princeton. So I just feel like this, again, Bobby Hurley, analytics guy, defense guy, chip on his shoulder, Jersey dude. Defense is where Uconn really is strong. I think it's where they're going to show up. Now, the book also says that Uconn averages 82 points a game. In the last 5 games, I've got them at about 78 points, right? So there's 4 points less. And it has them giving up 61. They're giving up closer to 65. Has Kansas averaging about 76 points a game. I've got them at a 73. And points for about the same. My chin is just right in here. And you have no idea. You can't even read my mouth. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Okay. Under 143 for the whole game. Official pick. Uconn first half, lay the point or take it on the money line. Up to you. Official pick. And then unofficial pick, it's like when you're a handicapper, it's like being a crime investigator, right? You got to let the evidence lead you there. The evidence is kind of leading me to Kansas full game. I'm going to break that timer. I don't know what the deal is with it. Okay. And it's not necessarily because I think Kansas will win, but I do kind of think either team can win, right? It's up in the air. This is a situation where, because I don't really know what's going to happen, and I know that number is going to go back and forth, I would wait. I wouldn't take Kansas right now unless you can't live play it later. If you just have to make a bet now and move on with your life, I would take Kansas just because the value's there, the points are there, the home court advantage is there, the Allen Fieldhouse advantage is there, all the things. But if you can wait in game, I would wait till Uconn gets to a plus number, or wait until Kansas gets to a bigger plus number is what I would do. That's my shiz. That's my spiel, everybody. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, if you want more of me, find me at Plus Money Honey. Monday picks went okay. We got Calbap first half. We missed on the Portland Pilots under. That's all right. I've got an Oregon and USC Oregon pick is already out there. So if you missed that one, definitely find it. And me and Tim Earl did the Duke game against Florida. We did UNC at Kentucky. Chip Chirimbus and I did a couple of NBA picks on the Wizards game and on the 76ers game. So keep your eyes out. Tons of free basketball picks all around. Picksandparlays.net. And don't forget, give us a follow at Picks Parlays. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night and good luck, everybody.